spacing between two buttons or spacing between two elements. It's just a really helpful way. I will say it can be something that takes getting used to, because it's not reacting potentially bottom. It might not be reacting how you would want it to, but it's actually in fact doing that for a reason. So I'll just show you. So let's just create a quick button. So what we would usually just do is probably make sure our copy is centered in there. At least I hope so. So we have our copy centered in there. If we happen to bring this button out again, you know, oh, we got to go and find the center again. Or if we happen to want to duplicate, so we stay consistent with our buttons, but then we need this one to maybe be 4 columns wide with our grid instead of 3. Now we are going to go and adjust the width. If we actually go and select this, and we go over here to auto layout, watch what happens. Oopsie. When I move this, it's going to always stay centered, and you set that center where you want this to be. So you can set it to the left. So for example, it's set to the left, but you can see the amount of horizontal padding it's going to be. So now there's 68 pixels horizontal padding on the left and right. And you can go and increase this. But now it just sets like a standard for what those buttons are going to do. And then it just prevents you from having to go and manually adjust that spacing every single time. Where this also comes in handy is for actual spacing between elements. So say I have a second button here, and over somewhere else on my app, I had, you know, X amount of pixels between them, between button elements, or think about in like a form, something like that. I can actually go and select both of these, and same thing, I can auto layout. So now I have an auto layout inside an auto layout, and now I can adjust the actual spacing, specific spacing. So instead of manually doing that, I can see, I'm like, okay, so between my frames, I always, or between our buttons or our form fields, I always have 20 pixels. So I can go somewhere else, and now I can group those items and auto layout all of those details, and now go, okay, I need these to be spaced 10 pixels, 20 pixels. So now it's going to be consistent. And it kind of, again, it just saves you a little bit of an extra step doing it manually, and also helps you to kind of just not drop the ball. I do very much, like I said, understand that it can be finicky from a sense of when you start doing it, you're like, I don't really understand, because you got to have top bottom padding. But where I think it would be really helpful is when you have 2 elements and you need to keep that spacing consistent as well. Is there any